All right, so today is 11th of August 2025, and we're having a morning analysis. We'll quickly run through the fundamentals, the key events for the week, then we'll check the charts to see what the market is saying for this week. So, starting with the fundamentals, there's no fundamental event for today. So, we expect some measure of quietness or range in the market. So, I will encourage you to trade with a lot of caution today. And tomorrow, Tuesday, we have a lot of events starting from Australia. 5:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, there'll be cash rate, RBA monetary policy statement, RBA's rate statement from Australia. RBA stands for the Reserve Bank of Australia. That's the Australian Central Bank. So they're going to be deciding on the interest rate tomorrow, whether they're going to be hiking it, that is increase, or whether there's going to be a cut, that is a reduction in the interest rate. And time will be 5:30 a.m. Nigerian time. So you may wake up early to see if you can trade this particular news. Usually the effect is that if the actual is greater than forecast, you can buy the AUD, or if it is less than forecast, you may look at selling the AUD. That's the general fundamental outlook. But then we may look at the chart and see if there's any, you know, AUD pair that is already projecting itself ahead of, as in direction wise, ahead of this event, so that can guide your trading decision tomorrow. All right. Then 7 a.m. tomorrow, there'll be average earning index 3 months yearly from the United Kingdom and Claymount count change. Both of them are medium impact events tomorrow morning. Take note of that also. And the other key event tomorrow will be CPI, Consumer Price Index from United States. So there'll be CPI, core CPI monthly, and CPI yearly by 1:30 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to be trading this live at PU Prime, so you may just join us by 1:15 p.m. as we go live, analyze the market, and the trades, will drop by 1:30 p.m. Make sure you join us tomorrow for that, right on this platform. You'll get the links and other details in the course of the day, and even tomorrow. And the key event on Wednesday, 2:30 a.m. on Wednesday, that'll be employment change and unemployment rates again from Australia. So this is Australia's version of NFP. It's coming up on Wednesday by 2:30 a.m. in the morning. And same Wednesday, 7 a.m. that'll be GDP, that's gross domestic product, and prelim GDP quarterly by 7 a.m. Volatility is expected on the GDP at that time. And 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday, that will call PPI, that's Producers Price Index, PPI, and unemployment claims from United States by 1:30 p.m. on Thursday. Okay, pardon me, I think I mixed it up. Wednesday, the key event on Wednesday is a wage price index, and that's the only event for the day to be 2:30 a.m. So it's as good as we don't have any fundamental on Wednesday. So the unemployment change and employment change unemployment rate from Australia is actually 2:30 a.m. on Thursday. That'll be Thursday. Then the GDP, prelim GDP from United Kingdom will be 7 a.m. on Thursday, and the core PPI, and unemployment claims will be 1:30 p.m. on Thursday. Then Friday, the key event on Friday will be the United States core retail sales and retail sales by 1:30 p.m., followed simultaneously by the Empire State Manufacturing Index, all of them at 1:30 p.m. And 3 p.m. on Friday, there will be prelim UOM consumer sentiment, prelim UOM inflation expectations by 3 p.m. But the key one is actually that core retail sales, and the Empire State Manufacturing Index for the United States dollar on Friday. That's the 15th of August 2025. All right, so let's flip over to the charts and see what to expect for the week. I just give insight into the fundamentals so that we can plan ahead for them. Now, on the charts this week, I'm going to be looking at the Euro New Zealand. The Euro seems to be getting set for some action this week because I have a setup on Euro New Zealand, and that was what I saw last night on the Euro CHF. So let's see how these two goes in the course of this week. For the Euro New Zealand, price has been trading around this resistance zone, testing it multiple times, consistently for over a month now, and has not been able to break above it. So that means this resistance zone is really holding strongly. This is a weekly time frame. That resistance zone is holding very, very strongly. And we'll flip back to the daily, then the 4 hour to see other setup. On the daily, price is still trying to test that resistance on the 4 hour. Now, this is what I'm seeing on the 4 hour. It's still information, but I'm seeing more a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and possibly a drop. So in the course of this week, we're going to be looking at this closely, and we'll see that this region here may form the neckline region. All right. So price is trying to make it's testing the resistance zone again around this area. It may go up or not. But if price reverses to test that neckline region, which is a support zone, and breaks out below it, then we should anticipate a bearish movement on the Euro New Zealand this week. Now it's a 4 hour time frame setup. That's a swing setup. And at the point of entry, our RSI should be clearly below 50, and that will give us a confirmation that it's time to trigger itself after we've seen the clear breakout below the neckline. So I'm bearish on the Euro New Zealand for this week. I'm also bearish on the Euro CHF. That's why I said it's like the Euros, they're having a downward outlook this week. This is the Euro CHF. Price closed on the resistance level last week. The daily time frame candle for Friday was a bearish one. The previous one was actually bullish rejection candle. Friday is a bearish rejection candle that is giving the outlook of a possibility of a reversal. So on the daily time frame, we're having price testing that resistance zone. Here, we'll just go straight to 1 hour. And draw a trend line straight. We may draw a second one at the back to give a rising wedge, though it's not mandatory. At least we can see it. We have a rising wedge pattern. All right. To get us a clearer breakout below, we should not ignore this minor support zone here. So we're going to be anticipating a breakout below this support zone in the course of today. This is 1 hour time frame. This may likely trigger today. So if a new candle opens below that support zone with our RSI clearly below 50, then we should be looking at selling the Euro CHF. So we're bearish on the Euro CHF on 1 hour, but we're bearish on the Euro New Zealand on 4 hours. So Euro New Zealand is a swing setup, while the Euro CHF is an intraday setup. So depending on your style of trading, if you're a day trader, I will encourage you to focus on the Euro CHF. And if you're a swing trader, you may look at the Euro New Zealand. So take it on your preference. I will not encourage you to trade both because they are both, for both of them, the euro is the base currency. Don't take both of them, but take one depending on your trading style. And thirdly, we'll look at the GBP card. The structure seems to be changing slightly. All right. Now you can see that GBP card has been in an uptrend for quite some time. You can see we have an uptrend. And last week closed as a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern. And we have a support zone there. All right, so market is in an uptrend. That's giving us an outlook of a bullish breakout. We have the higher lows, higher low, a higher low here with a support and a bullish engulfing pattern. So we're expecting further bullish breakout on the GBP card for this week. So if you flip down to the 4-hour time frame, this is what I can see at the moment. This breakout actually started last week, and currently price is testing a support. There's a minor support there on resistance. And we should not ignore the fact that RSI is completely overbought here at 75. All right. So what I see happening to this instrument is that in the course of possibly today, there will be a retracement, then a further breakout. Because at this point, we can't enter. RSI is overbought and we are at a support stone resistance. So entering now is not, if we had seen this earlier and entered somewhere around the 5, we'll have been able to ride up. So what we need to do now is two things. We either wait for, which is actually the best, wait for a retracement. At that retracement, RSI will come down a little also, then a breakout upwards. Because even if there's a breakout, excuse me, even if there's a breakout straight away here, because RSI is overbought, it will still drop before a further continuation. So the best we can do is for now, wait for a retracement, a breakout, then we'll enter at the breakout, or we'll wait for a breakout outrightly, then wait for it to retest before we continue, because that overbought region will most likely still bring down the price. So watch this carefully for a retracement and a breakout, or a breakout, a retracement, and a continuation. That's my view on the GBP card. And all right, this is even perfect. Perfect. Now you can see that the Fibonacci level, we're exactly on Fibonacci 50. This is the more reason why we can't take a buy now. We need to wait for a retracement. The best option is a retracement and a breakout. And we can now, after a breakout, we cannot target Fibonacci 61 and Fibonacci 78.2. But this one just sums it up, because Fibonacci 50 is a critical point for either a retracement or a reversal. So best thing is just to take our time and watch in the course of today. If price will retrace, then if it retraces down to Fibonacci 38.2, we can set buy limit orders there. If it will retrace back to this level, we can set a buy limit order from where it can, trigger up to Fibonacci 61.8 and 78.6. So please pay a close attention to this instrument in the course of today, and even possibly in the course of the week. All right, that's actually all from my end this morning. I've analyzed 3 instruments for us: the Euro New Zealand, on which I'm bearish on the 4-hour, the Euro CHF, which I'm bearish on 1 hour, and that the GBP card, where I'm looking at a bullish breakout, but we want a retest before we see the breakout. So those are the 3 instruments I'm analyzing for us. Now I want to bring us an update. Sometime last week, I dropped an analysis on the US oil. If you go through your WhatsApp group, you see there, I dropped it that this was going to break out into a sell. So at that time, price was somewhere around here, because I saw a head and shoulder right there on the daily time frame with a descending trend line, descending channel. and currently price has dropped. During the analysis, I said it's a daily time frame. I don't expect you to enter on the daily. If you have your own strategy to make entries on a lower time frame, well, the idea is that the trend is bearish. Now, so far from that analysis, US oil has dropped currently to the tune of about 202 pips. Today is Monday, volatility may be low, so we may experience a retracement by the course of the week. We may see a further drop in the price of the US oil. The direction is still bearish, so opportunities to enter may still coming in the course of the week. All right, someone is asking me to check gold. Now, if you observe, I've not said anything about the dollar index this morning because there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment. We're still waiting for clarity as regards the direction of the dollar, which will also impact upon other major currency pairs. Though over the course of the last 2 weeks, we've been bullish on the dollar, but at the last NFP, the dollar hit a resistance retrace. We're expecting a continuation, but then we are yet to see that price has been ranging the last couple of days thereabout. But the USD CHF is still giving us that bullish outlook. But that is if volatility returns to the market. We're seeing a falling wedge pattern with the inverse head and shoulder and possibly a breakout if we have volatility return to the market. And today, Monday, without any news, we are not really expecting any serious volatility. And for gold, lately there has been no serious geopolitical tension. So gold may likely move in the direction of the dollar, as in the dollar may decide what happens to gold. If the dollar is bullish, gold will be bearish. If the dollar is bearish, gold will be bullish. Gold also is ranging. Gold is in a range at the moment. So I would advise to trade with extreme caution or you wait till there's clarity. Gold may likely approach the support zone, and if it does not break out below it, then you may see price go back upwards. So that's my current view on gold. If at all you want to trade gold, let it hit this support zone first. Then look for opportunity to ride it back up. USDJPY, Mr. Joshua. Oh, yeah. All right, for USDJPY, even though I can see a rising wedge on the daily time frame, but the last couple of candles indicates that we were having a support zone right here. It's still the same thing on the USDJPY. The dollar is in the range. No clear direction at the moment. No clear direction. Ayomiko is asking to check AUD card. The weekly time frame is in the range. For some of us that doing the analysis, last week I said it's a lot of the peers are just ranging. We experienced that last week. It looks like the beginning of this week is still having similar market outlook. All right, for AUD card, if price hits the resistance up there might be the possibility of a decline. But the zone where it is now, we need to just wait for price to go up to hit this resistance, then possibly ride it downwards. And see, we have a perfect looking resistance up there. All right, so that's my view. We may also draw our trend line to anticipate a potential breakout as price goes higher up. Let's take it out to 1 hour. A clear rising wedge is actually forming, but then price may go up before it breaks out. So I'm bearish on the ED card, but then price needs to hit a resistance before we see that breakout happen. That's for AUD card. So watch it closely, Mr. Yemiko. Okay, UK. I saw your message. Please, we'll talk about that after this class. That's UK. And just a second, please. I'm trying to remember your name because that's not the name you sent the message with. And you know, for such things like this, you can actually reach out directly to your account manager. Just send me a reminder this morning. You know, I'm trying to search that chat. You can send me a reminder. We'll look at it. Etsy, Edan, EU. Now, the dollar is not stable. So most of these dollar-based pairs, major pairs, let's just leave them for now until we get clarity on the dollar. Good morning, Mr. Mutagaba. It's been a long while. Welcome back on the platform. Morning, Mr. Ogunshola. Bitcoin. All right, I'll check Bitcoin. Gold. Like I said, gold is not stable at the moment. It's trading within a range, but I'll check BTC. So I have to people asking me to check BTC. Madam Monaji, Euro, AUD, or in GBPs. Please let's leave the major pairs. There's no clarity around them. Dollar is not so stable at the moment. All right, Mr. Ukeme Isong. Yeah, I know that's the name you sent the message. All right, I've seen your reminder. We'll talk about it after now. All right, so let's check the BTC and Euro AUD.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning, ma'am. I can hear you. Is that Madam Monaji?
I posted yes, sir. If you can you help us to highlight Euro AUD?
Yes, I will. I want to quickly do BTC. But
Okay,
two people
thank
asked
you,
about BTC USD. All right, so BTC USD has been in an uptrend. You know, when the bull run, but then it's trading around a resistance zone. Two things may happen at this point. Price may respect this resistance and drop. That is one. Secondly, price may break this resistance, touch the trend line, and still come back downwards. The third one is that we may see a breakout, hit the trend line, a retest, and a continuation. Those are the three scenarios around BTC at the moment. That's a daily time frame. So let's go lower to a lower time frame. All right. So on the 4 hour, you can clearly see that price is close to the tip of that resistance on the 4 hour time frame. And let me check if there's a psychological level in view also that can help us to 122. 123 will be way above. But then 123 is still touching this resistance here. All right. So that is giving us an insight of a key level there, the resistance, the psychological level. Okay, and that to 123,000. So we have a psychological level here, we have a resistance. So I'll push the resistance zone up to be between this high and the psychological level. All right, so there's a likelihood that because of that psychological level, which is adding another layer of resistance, price will hit this place and we may experience a slight retracement. Now, this is 4 hour. We can go down to 1 hour and preferably 15 minutes. Let's see, 15 minutes. Okay, price is already reacting even before getting to that zone. It's reacting, trying to form a head and shoulder. I don't know, it may still go up or it may just reverse directly from here, you know. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to look at it on both sides, however it happens. We have our trend line drawn here. Price may go up here and break out. Anytime price breaks out below this trend line, that is when you trigger a sell. It can happen from here without touching the resistance because it looks like the market is just anticipating that slight retreat. I'll call it a retracement. It may not be an ultimate reversal. So price, what I'm trying to say is that, let me make it bigger so that we can see it clearer. This is a head and shoulder information. Okay, and it's touching the tip. All right, this is actually the tip of that resistance zone. This is the psychological level. It may get to the psychological level and it may not get there. So even if it's the tip of that resistance zone where through this line and it reverses, it's a valid reversal pattern, which is a head and shoulder. So anytime price breaks out below this trend line, you can trigger a sell safely. And I'll use my Fibonacci level to look at projected. Let's look at this resistance, the tip of that resistance zone as our resistance for now, just on a tentative note. So if price breaks out and you can target the first level here is Fibonacci 23.6, and that will be 37 pips. Fibonacci 30.2 will give you 101 pips, or let's just say 100 pips. And Fibonacci 50 will give about 150 pips thereabout. But then if all you capture is the first one at about 37 pips, that's quite good. And you can take it to the next one at 38, Fibonacci 30, which is about 100 pips. That's good enough. So either ways, we are looking at price hitting here and reversing. So we're bearish on BTC USD or 15 minutes time frame.
Sir, US 30, please. Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. You said what?
US 30, US 30.
US 30, okay. I'll do that. Then the Euro AUD from Madam Olaji. Euro AUD is in a range. Euro AUD is in a range. So we may just have to wait for price to go up and hit this resistance, and then we may anticipate a reversal. Or on a closer look, okay, I think it's trying to form what we saw on the Euro New Zealand to maybe like a head and shoulder and drop. But I need a corresponding resistance for that as a confirmation. Let's go to the daily. Okay, I think there's a corresponding resistance from here. So that's a perfect one. But it's not as sharp as what we saw rather on the Euro New Zealand, but that's it may go up, hit this resistance, then come down. That will give it the head and shoulder pattern and drop. So it's a bearish one on Euro AUD. So you can see that most of the Europeans are looking bearish. It's not a sharp one though, but that's what I can still interpret what I'm seeing as. So we're still bearish. But then if that's the case, you need to wait for price to really go up and break out below this support, which is the neckline, before you trigger a sell downwards. And it's a swing setup. So that will require some measure of patience from your end. So we're bearish on the Euro AUD. We're bearish on Euro New Zealand. We're bearish on Euro CHF. Euro CHF is 1 hour. That should trigger in the course of today. All right. Okay, Arinze, you can
Thank you
send me a
very much,
private.
sir. I'm grateful.
You're welcome. You're welcome, ma'am. Arinze Raphael, you can send me a private chat after this class. We can talk. And I'm the one that sent the link for the analysis session. So my name is Rotimi. Just look at it and from PU Prime. So let's have a chat after this class. You're welcome, Mr. Joshua. Okay, I think I've attended to all the requests here. Okay, US 30. All right. It's actually digit 30 on our platform. It's the same thing. Now, DG30 and US30 is getting set for a massive long-term breakout in bearish direction. And these are my reasons for that. Now, we can see on the daily time frame. Let me go back to the weekly. On the weekly time frame, price hits a resistance zone here. You have a clear-cut resistance. And on the same weekly time frame, you can see that last week, okay, the previous week closed as a bearish engulfing candlestick on the weekly time frame. So what we saw last week was just a retracement that should be a continuation downwards. At resistance zones, we're looking for opportunity to sell. With a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern is an indication that price is getting set for a massive bearish breakout also. And if we've taken that down to the daily, on the daily time frame, it's now forming a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder. Then from there, we anticipate the drop. And that we equally have a rising wedge pattern around here. So from all angles, we are seeing the possibility of a bearish breakout. But then this is an extremely volatile instrument. So you need to trade with a lot of caution. You cannot enter on daily. Can't enter on daily time frame. The only thing you can see here is a potential direction in the bearish direction. So on the lower time frame, you need to still wait for a clear confirmation entry for a sell on any of the lower time frame. Could be 15 minutes, could be 1 hour. Just know that for a long time to come, we may just be looking at selling the DJ or the US30, as the case may be. So we can go down to 1 hour. go down to 15 minutes and look at your. For now, nothing is happening. This is 1 hour because on the weekly it's still trying to form. Let's see. This is a 15 minutes time frame. Sorry, it looks like my system is hanging. Trying to draw. Okay. All right. So this is 15 minutes time frame. You have a rising wedge pattern of 15 minutes. Now, if this resistance that is forming, if it holds, then we may anticipate the reversal. If this resistance holds, we may anticipate a reversal. So you are only looking at an opportunity to sell this instrument. Kindly ignore any buy. That's it's long-term sell, all things being equal. All right, JP guys, I said it, we are leaving out the middle currency pairs for now because the dollar is not stable. Likewise, gold, we're not still seeing stability around gold at the moment. Anytime we get clarity, we'll let you know. Just make sure you are, constantly checking the 5X group. If you're not the 5X group, make sure you get there. Reach out to your account manager, they will add you. That's our special signal group. All right, I think I've attended to all the requests here. For those who are just joining us or those who join late, tomorrow.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
I'm with you,
Hello,
ma'am.
sir.
I can hear you.
And please, I don't know if you can see throw more light on this US oil. I'm holding a sell trade on it. I don't know, has it finished its bearish movement?
What was it?
No, it has not. USL
Okay,
has
sir.
not finished its bearish movement. Wait, just let me get it out. So there's a possibility of retracement today. There's no news today, so markets on the bigger time frames may enter into retracement. All right, so this is the US oil.
Hello, sir.
Just a minute, sir. Let me complete what I'm telling madam. This is a head and shoulder pattern. Price has broken below the neckline. I expect further drop on this instrument. Maybe it may target this list, but then that's subjective. But let me use the Fibonacci and see accurate levels. All right. So the next, it has broken below Fibonacci 61.8, clearly broken. So the next target level will be Fibonacci 17.6. So if you're already on a sell, you may hold it. All right. Somebody was trying to talk.
Yes. Okay. Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
My question, is there any link between the USD and the stock like US Tech Direct?
Of course, there is. I mean, it's all about the American economy. So the dollar is a currency.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. I'm great. Thank you, sir.
You're very much welcome. So the dollar, there could be, now there are times when the market may move on both sides, may move independent of one another. It does not mean that it's 100% all the time, that there is an effect. But generally, if the dollar is strong, it shows the American economy is strong. Stocks will also do well at that period. And if the dollar is weak, the stocks may go weak. But there are some other times, there are instances maybe when it may not really work like that. So the market is not completely cast in stone. But a strong dollar means the economy is strong. It means the stocks will be doing well on a general note. But like I said, there are some periods when, the dollar may be good and the stock may be bad because stocks are based on the performance of companies. So the economy may be good, but the policy of the company may be bad, or the company is having an issue. and the stock may drop. So that one is not the dollar drive. It doesn't mean the dollar is driving it 100% all of the time. Individual company policies or decisions or projections may also affect the stock. I'll answer your question, sir.
So I didn't hear you. So I don't know if you can.
Yeah, your voice is low, but I think I can still hear you.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's the my.
Your voice is breaking. Or can you type what you're trying to say? Is this something you can type?
Listen.
Your voice is breaking, sir.
Hello?
Your voice is breaking. Maybe you can type, sir.
I think it's the network. Let me. Okay. Okay.
All right, for those who joined us a bit late, we're having our CPI live trading tomorrow at 1:15 p.m. CPI is Consumer Price Index. It's one of the major economic indicators in the United States. Volatility is expected. It's one of the news events that we trade live at PU Prime. We trade two live events every month. That's NFP, that's Northern Payroll, which is the biggest news event in the Forex market. And also CPI, Consumer Price Index. So join us tomorrow by 1:15 p.m. We'll drop the links in all the groups, for you to join. And this is most especially good for those who are funded. So if you don't have any funds in your trading account, go ahead today, reach out to your account manager, or you can just log into your PU Prime account and do your funding. Because if you're trading live, I'll be making money live, so don't be left out. For those who have joined us, we've been doing this now for about a year and a half. We've had about 85% win rate with this. You'll see it live. We'll drop the signal live, the entry price, the take profit, the stop loss. We'll see as the market will move. So don't be left out. Join us tomorrow, 1:15 p.m. At 1:15 p.m. And please don't be late. No African time. 1:15 p.m. we'll kick off. We analyze the markets. Around 1:20, 1:25, we'll drop the signal. And by 1:30, the data will be released. And you'll see for yourself how the market goes, how the entries will be triggered, how price will get to the take profit levels, and stuff like that. So don't miss this opportunity to trade live with us tomorrow. And if you live around Abuja and its environment, or Lagos and its environment, you can also join us for physical training, which will hold 2 times in a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The time for training at Abuja office is 10:30 a.m. and that of Lagos office is 11 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The address of the Abuja office is PU Prime Abuja, Work and Connect Building, 50 Ebitu Ukiwe Street, Jabi, Abuja. So if you live around Abuja and its environment, you live at Kefi, Yanyan, and other places, try to make yourself available for that training. It will sharpen your skills as a trader. And also, if you live in Lagos and its environment, the address is PU Prime Lagos, Lagos Executive Lounge, 54B Adeniyi Jones Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. Time is 11 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursday. We hope to see you at this event. All right, Mr. Deko is Shegun's question. My question is that, is there a direct correlation between dollar and US 30? For example, we're looking at selling US 30. Does it mean dollar is bearish? I already explained this, that in terms of correlation, the dollar index is a reflection of the strength of the dollar. The US 30 is a reflection of the stock. When the economy is good, which shows the dollar is strong, the stocks will also be good. But then that does not mean that is what happens 100% of the time. There are exceptions. So it's not cast in stone that once the dollar is strong, all stocks must buy. No, there are instances. It's just like gold. There are times when the dollar is strong and gold is strong at the same time. There are exceptions to these rules. And besides, the stocks, US 30 is a combination of stocks of different companies. So it's possible some of the companies may be having issues and are not doing well. And that does not mean it's the dollar that is being affected. That doesn't stop the strength of the dollar. US 30 may still sell. You understand? So there are exceptions to these rules. It doesn't mean it's cast in stone 100%. That because of correlation, once this is buying, the other must be buying. It's not. There are exceptions. But that may be what is playing out at the moment. But sometimes I tell people, if it's not clear to you like that, if you already have your mindset that okay, this is happening, that the other must happen, it's not happening like that. The best you can do is to stay out. If it's not clear, just stay out and wait for the perfect timing that you understand by the way you analyze the market. All right, that'll be all this morning. Don't forget this analysis afternoon session comes up again by 12:30 p.m. today. Try to join us. Take care and have a wonderful week ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. We're very grateful.
You're
Have a
welcome.
great new week.
You too.